Hey, but you see all those little young, all the.
And we don't introduce any.
What's up?
We don't introduce anything. We just say.
Yeah, did you see how there's young athletes, like young high schoolers, are like dropping? Like actually, a couple of one of them died recently from just like cardiac arrest.
Well,
a lot of people are saying that it's like linked to the shot and how they got myocarditis. Like Kevin, he was telling us.
What was that? LeBron James' son
His son
just
too.
had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's just too common now, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a thing.
And what is it like? A Twitter dude, Elon Musk, said something and had to delete his own tweet or something about that. I'm like, I don't know. It's once I don't know how to feel about that. I guess I'm that guy who once it's in my backyard, then I'll think about it.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean.
You know, but but right now, what's going on is people who got the vaccine are having heart attacks 2-3 years later.
Young men. Yeah.
Enough for it to be, or is it still like, is it enough for it to be a concern?
I think so. So trip out. I knew nobody who passed away or had complications like with actual COVID,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have a buddy who I served with in the Navy, and he got the shot, and like not too long after, he started developing like blood clots in his lungs, and they pretty much told him that it was kind of related to that, but. And every once in a while, he has to go to the doctor and get that shit like figured out because it just comes back. He's young. He's probably like, I don't know, 26.
Okay. No, I got the vaccine. I think I got 2 boosters. I know at least 1 booster.
What's the booster? The one after, yeah, first 2 shots, right?
And then the next.
No, because I got the Johnson & Johnson, which was 1 shot.
Oh, okay. I did the other one. I have a picture of it, but I don't want to go on my phone. But I took 2 of them.
Yeah. And so then the booster's the one you get after.
No booster.
Yeah. After I'm pretty sure I only got 1 booster because after a while I just
the only reason I got it too because I had to travel abroad and I had fights. Mm-hmm. Like fights were more important than my life.
Right. Yeah.
So I ended up getting it. I didn't want to get it, but
I don't think anybody did. Like I got mine because my relationships with Gordy and Miss Patricia, they were both
looking after them.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that guy. Matter of fact, I got COVID after I got the vaccine, and I got no. I'm gonna go on record about this one. I got sick. I got a cold. I got a real bad cold, probably a flu, and then Gordy was like, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Go get tested, see if it's COVID or whatever." And I did, and they were like, "You have the SR9 that causes COVID-19," and so
SARS-CoV.
Well, and that was enough to make me say that I got COVID. But I had 3 days. It was like it was sneezing, coughing, nausea, drowsiness, blah blah blah, like the flu, which I never get a flu vaccination because I'm just like I just don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I only did in the Navy. They make you do it.
Yeah, and those are people like of that capacity. I understand it. So anyway. The day the cold symptoms set in, this is another reason I don't go to church. I went to church, you know. The day the symptoms started, I went to church. I wasn't feeling well, but I was like, I got to go to church anyway. Like my brain was like, I got to go to church anyway, you know. I need those. I need to be seen at church. If I don't go to church, I'm going to get in trouble, something like that.
What the fuck?
So I go to church, and then, you know, the next day, Monday comes, and I'm just out of it. So I told Gordy, he says, go get the vaccine. I mean, go get tested. And I go get tested, and you got to wait 3 days. So then Miss Patricia finds out that I might have COVID. And she was like, I'm the only one who hugged you at church. Because I had to let the church know. And the church like, somebody got COVID. And they were like, can we say your name? I was like, yeah, I don't care. They're like, Adam got COVID. That's fucked up.
In church.
Yeah.
No mercy.
So, but while I was waiting I got tested. I got tested positive for COVID. And then Miss Patricia had to go get tested. Man, I never, until she got that negative result back, I was 100% just like, I'm just why'd you go to church? I hated myself. She's 90 and you're giving her COVID.
Damn.
And so, but then when she got it, I was like, oh, good. And that looking back on that, I had to go to church. I could not miss church. Is one of the reasons I only go to church on a communion Sunday now. Like, it's just like I don't have to go to church at all ever.
It's a trip though, huh? How like life was.
Man, I still look back on the COVID era as the most peaceful time in this world.
Dude, I watched Nigel posted a picture of him like in a face-off. They were like so far apart. I was like, dude, life was fucking crazy at that time, man.
What do you mean, him in a face-off?
He was fighting.
He was fighting.
Yeah,
the face-off dude was like on one corner.
Nigel fought with COVID.
Oh, he did?
Not that fight. It was a fight after that, and he fought.
Is he gonna get in trouble? Like, are you out?
That's not his. He didn't do nothing bad. We knew he was sick. We didn't think he had COVID.
Oh, okay.
And he ended up. I remember we did the COVID test the day of the fight, and the guy looked at the exam, looked at Nigel. He passed. He didn't show it to nobody. And Nigel, the reason I say he got it was because he fought. He pulled the fight out of his ass. He did good. He won.
Uh-huh.
That night, we got back to the house, and where we were staying at, and he was just fell on the bed, and he couldn't get up. Didn't want to eat dinner. Didn't want to do nothing. So I said, I got to take this foot to the hospital. He doesn't look good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back. The hospital said he didn't have COVID, but he had an ear infection, which was hard enough to fight with.
Right.
When he got to San Diego, this was in Guadalajara. When he got to San Diego, this is 2 days. He got tested here at the emergency, and he came back with COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I know he had it. I know he had it because the way he just looked and the way he felt was not from the ear infection. He was sick. He had fever and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough, man. He had to go through a fucking weight cut and then a fight. Like, it's pretty tough.
That weight cut, that just takes away from your body's ability to fight,
it compromises your immune system, man. You know, you're dehydrated.
I'm surprised, like, after a weight cut, every boxer doesn't get the flu.
It feels. I tried it once just because I wanted to see what they go through, and it took my body like 2 days to recover from that.
From the weight cut?
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between a weight cut and, if you'll notice, we've already started the podcast. I just feel like
Between the Bellz.
Yeah, no introduction. They know you're Coach Magz. That's Coach Joe.
It's been like fucking episode
I'm Adam
200
Alexander.
and shit.
Yeah, only 16, 216. It doesn't matter.
I want to get to 216.
216?
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. You heard it here, folks. So, no, what's the difference between losing weight and a weight cut?
Losing weight, well, it all comes back if you don't take care of yourself, but go ahead.
Well, losing weight is like you can do it a little bit more methodically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can over time you can progressively, smartly and healthily.
I think so.
Just made it up. Cut the weight. And we're talking like fat loss,
right?
You know? Weight cutting, you're pretty much just cutting your water weight.
Oh, okay. So you're not losing. A lot of these guys, like, I was looking at Kyle the other day. What's his weight now?
I don't know his weight, but he's
like 150 something.
Yeah, he fights at 140.
Okay.
Most guys, most athletes in boxing cut about 10% of their body weight. Most MMA guys cut about 15% of their body weight.
Yeah,
15.
That's pretty accurate.
And that's what I was looking at Kyle. I was like, how's he, like, he's at 150. Like, what 10 pounds does
I was
he have
watching
to
him
lose?
in Austin sparring the other day. Austin fights at 130.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah.
And Kyle fights at 135.
They're about the same height too.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin's already getting ready to fight, so his weight's already low. Like, he's already getting ready. He fights next week in Washington.
Okay. And
Kyle doesn't have a date yet, so he's carrying all that weight right now. So the size difference was like, oh shit.
So when people cut weight, they're just getting rid of water.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why, you know what, it trips me out when people wear the sauna suits and they're not cutting weight, because you're putting your fucking body through hell.
But that's also those guys like, and I was guilty of that because it's all like placebo, you know, like
it helps.
You think that you're like, well, I'm not gonna sweat that much even if I didn't wear the plastics. Well, yeah, just work harder and sweat normal. Because all that sweat you're doing with that plastic, as soon as you drink your water, you're getting it right back.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense to me. And, we had some good. Oh my God, we had some good fights this weekend.
Yeah, man.
We had. You guys think we had 2? I think we had 3. We had 2 fights with an interesting fight. Let's go with the 2 fights first. Start with at least the 2. Anthony Joshua.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't even watch that fight.
It wasn't much to watch.
I just saw the highlight. It was a nice setup. Even though, like, I'm surprised that guy didn't see that shit coming. He kind of announced it.
And I think that was a good touch-up fight for Anthony Joshua.
Well, that wasn't his original opponent.
No, right.
Yeah, it was a 5-day notice, I believe.
Right. No, he was.
Who was his original opponent?
Dillian White.
Oh, that's right.
And White got tested. He failed a test of some sort, a drug test.
Oh,
God,
I don't know, there's those fucking guys in the UK, bro.
I don't know if he was doping.
Probably.
Or.
Search it.
All right, let's see. So one of y'all say something.
Shout out to Joshua. I mean, he's coming back. I mean, and I bet Derek James feels better.
Mm-hmm.
Derek James was catching a lot of slack because, his Errol Spence lost. So he needed a victory.
And I think this actually sets him up for a fight with Deontay, which is actually, I think, is a good fight. I'm interested to see that because Deontay hits really fucking hard, but I think that Joshua's just a little bit more like polished up in his technique than Deontay is. He's
more a complete fighter, but that fight's exciting to watch if it happened.
So yeah,
it's been in the making for what, like 8 years, 7 years.
For real.
I will be pulling for Anthony Joshua.
I'll go with Bashir on this one. The American fighter, dog. I'm gonna go for Wilder.
I want to see Joshua.
A good guy.
Yeah, and I think he's a better boxer than. This is why I don't think I've yet to root for Wilder because I know that
his excuses got to you, huh?
Well, no. His excuses started after I was watching. It's like there's another. No, he's only got 3 excuses, and that's for his 3 losses to Fury. Those are his losses. But I'm just like, my thing with Fury is, and the only time what I'm about to say doesn't match up is his last fight with Fury. He's not a boxer. He's a puncher. And once he lands that on you, you're going to sleep.
Yeah. He put Tyson down.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say if Joshua can be a better boxer, he can win.
Yeah.
I would love to see Joshua not even get a knockout, get the decision, get the unanimous decision.
That's what makes this fight exciting is like nobody's talking about Shakur, and I'm going to get knocked by the boxing enthusiasts, guys that love the boxing skills. Wilder and Joshua are exciting, not because they're just heavyweights, because they can put you out with one punch. That makes boxing exciting. When you know you're going to go in there and get boxed for 12 rounds and the fight's going to be kind of like one-sided, it gets very boring for fans. They want to see going back and forth. They do want to see that. They do appreciate the skill of boxing, but they want to see some risk being taken too,
And I think, yes, when there's no risk taken, if they can survive 12 rounds, it's very exciting. And if you know what you're watching. Now, if you just like watching fights, people fight, like you also watch WWE, then yeah, I think a 12-round match is going to bore the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But if you're watching,
if you know the
technique,
skill behind
you're
it,
watching skill,
but not
you're watching strategy. No, I don't think boxing has that many mature fans.
No,
I agree.
I consider them. I consider a lot of fans to be the equivalent of Dallas Cowboy fans.
But it's kind of always been like that. People like to see knockouts, man. That's why people watch fights. The layman. That they want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out.
And, No, exactly. That's, to me, and when I compare them to Dallas Cowboy fans, that's the least intelligent fan base in football. Like they just.
I don't know too much about that, man. I ain't gonna talk shit.
I will. I just like, I can't stand them. Anyway, my best friend's a Dallas Cowboy fan, so shout out to Adrian. All right, so yeah, he failed a dope test, but I just can't find like somebody just
what it was.
So I'm sure it wasn't weed.
We need a fucking research team here, dog.
I know. We'll get that. Oh, matter of fact, speaking of, we gotta give a shout out to Women's Boxing Network of San Diego. They made a donation to the Between the Bellz podcast, which I would have set up top had we stick to the script and had a nice introduction. But no, and so starting in September, they've ensured it. We will this podcast will be available wherever podcasts are available. Women's Boxing Network is a nonprofit. They support young ladies boxing, sponsor them in all their fights. The last fight they had a fight, Sandra. I can't remember Sandra's last name, but they had a boxer who just do some damage in the ring this weekend.
I don't even know who like the head. I don't know who
Amber.
Amber is. Amber's energy is like, she's beautiful. I love her she's doing a great job bringing a lot of awareness to female boxing.
Yep.
She's doing an awesome job. She loves the sport, and she just comes in there and spars, and
Yeah.
Loves to work, and she likes to bring girls together and give them a voice.
She's got a good energy.
I love her energy. And shout out to you. And I don't even know. I didn't know about this, so I still appreciate her regardless. But that means a lot.
Yeah, no, it does. Again, so she is this episode of this podcast brought to you by Amber and the Women's Boxing Network. Give them a follow with @Women's Boxing Network. Follow what they do on the Instagram there. So now we get back to, I don't even know how I segued into that. Usually I'm good at segueing.
That's why, because you're flowing, bro. You're
That's
doing
good.
natural,
It's
dog.
working, dog.
Get your fucking brain thinking over here.
So we had the Joshua fight, and I think that his Wilder fight is going to be great. I either want to see Wilder fight Ruiz or Joshua. That's it.
That would be. I want.
I think he's going to murder.
I want to see Deontay against.
I think
Ruiz
he
too.
will murder Ruiz.
I don't think so, bro.
You don't?
Deontay? I don't think so.
Okay, I just
He could catch him, but I think Andy's super underrated, dude. That dude's quick for how big
Andy's
he
never
is.
been murdered, dog. He's been fighting forever in the amateurs and the pros, and he's fought international. He had more experience than Wilder did in the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't have the platform until he beat Joshua, and to not knock him, but he fucked up. By when he won, he took it easy after that.
Yep.
I think now he knows he looks in shape, and he looks good. He's training here in San Diego. We gotta go check him out one day.
Okay.
Get his fat ass in here. Do an interview with us. I cornered him in the amateurs. He's a great kid. He's almost my neighbor. He lives in Alpine. So
Oh, he does?
yeah, so he's a good kid.
Oh, he lives up in Alpine?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a gym right there, like a couple blocks, not a couple blocks, but down the hill from
There's
my
no
house.
blocks in Alpine.
Alcohol. There's an alcohol.
Those
are like- that's what would you call them?
It's all hills and
Curves.
trails.
Trails. Couple trails down.
Two yonders.
Yeah.
For real.
But yeah, I don't know who would win that fight. Wilder's dangerous. But Andy would never. I don't think
You
he
don't
would
think-
submit to getting they're built different. Joshua hit him with some of the hardest shots, and I think Joshua and Wilder's punches are about equal in power. I think Joshua throws wild place punches that are powerful, and Wilder throws wild punches that are
Yes,
powerful.
and that's the problem with Wilder. That's the problem with anybody has fighting Wilder, is you can't prepare for that wild shit. You know,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
That's the problem we saw.
That's going into our next fight,
that's
right?
sneaking
Yep,
in.
that's
We
the
read each
problem.
other's mind.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's the problem we saw with Navarrete.
Navarrete.
Did that come close?
No, you know what's funny though? One of the guys that was commentating was calling him that too.
Navarrete.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's where I got it. But yeah,
That's you.
what's his nickname?
Vaquero.
Vaquero.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy.
Okay. That's the problem. That's the problem with Valdez had against the Cowboy.
Yeah.
It's like he was. I really wanted Oscar to win. I really wanted
Yeah.
Oscar to pull out
So
because
did
he was
I.
fighting with such good skill. You know, he was withstanding. You know, he was fighting with that eye that just got closed around the sixth.
Yeah, man.
That eye got closed around
Yeah.
the sixth, and it was really good. But he like the Cowboy was just so wild. One, you know, he's jabbing you from a right-hander stance. Next thing you know, you're catching an uppercut from a left-hander stance, and it's like, what? Why?
It works for him.
I don't know if wild is the way to describe him. I think
Unorthodox, maybe.
unorthodox, like not traditional.
Unpredictable,
Yeah,
for
unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
Because he was wild, but he never. I'm saying wild too. He was.
I don't wanna
He
say-
was attacking, but he wasn't there to get countered. He had great defense. He worked on his jab. He worked on his punches. Valdez just couldn't find the right distance.
I honestly thought it was over when he hurt his hand. When the Cowboy hurt his
bro, that's
hand.
the best part. I love you said that because I was talking to Coach Bashir because Bashir asked me, we were talking about what was he saying in the corner because Bashir doesn't speak Spanish yet. He's been in the fucking gym for all these Mexicans. I said, Coach, if you would have heard what he said, you would have got excited because Coach loves coaching, you know.
Right.
And I said he came to the corner. He said his hand hurts, and the coach was kind of like he didn't not in those words, but I don't know how to translate it over.
He
but
said no mames.
yeah, like who
That's
gives a
what he
fuck,
said.
you know?
Oh.
Like pull it out. Do what you got to do, you know. And what round was it? Like the 10th or 11th?
I think 11th. Like they were going into the 12th.
Yeah. He says, how do you see the scorecard? He says, I think you lost the last 3 rounds, which
Oh, yeah.
wasn't true.
It was
No, and
going
because
into-
I heard that mind fuck. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't paying. My ADD was kicking in, and then my brain, like I heard it, and I looked up. I was like, why is he telling? Oh, he's tricking him.
No, because
Yeah.
no. Yeah, but nobody knows him more than his, what is it, his uncle?
His primo.
His cousin.
I couldn't
Nobody
think
knows him better than his cousin. So he knows what he has to tell him. He knows if you would have told him, "Oh, you're winning, bro," he got some fucked up hand. he's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna cruise this round. Let's be fair. The decisions sometimes in boxing are not what they should be.
Yeah.
So I think he knew that technically they were the champions. They were the A side, but Oscar was the fan.
Mm-hmm.
He was at his hometown.
Uh-huh.
Top rank, I think Oscar was more marketable to them than Vaquero. But Vaquero just won that space by beating Oscar Valdez. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I think
so.
it was a great match. Like at no point was it was a great match actually to follow the Spence Crawford match. You know, it was there were a lot of punches thrown.
Mm-hmm.
The volume of punches the Cowboy was throwing was exhausting to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like the first round, 90 plus punches.
Yeah.
The only round he took off might have been the 10th or 11th for his right hand.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was it. After he found out he may be losing the card.
He brought it back.
Yeah, he brought it back. So it was it was an absolute great fight to watch. The third fight, the fight I found interesting was Torres Jr. He fought on the undercard.
Oh, the heavyweight?
The heavyweight. Yeah, Torres Jr.
Oh, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Richard.
I saw him fight on and this is one of my weird reasons for liking boxers. I saw him fight on the undercard for Big Shot back in 2000, a couple years ago, up at Pachinga Casino, and it was the mustache. I was like, I love this guy. I was like, who's this Magnum PI mustache having guy? And and he got the knockout quick in that round. And this one, another.
They're all quick knockouts for him. I think he was a very highly touted amateur.
Olympian, no?
I'm sorry, Olympian. Yeah. The only thing about him is that something's missing, man. And he comes out guns blazing, bro. Like, but it's like it's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's not
heads up high.
Yeah, it's not calculated. Like, I don't know. I think Coach hit it right on the head right there with the something's missing. I'm like, I don't know, man. Something
doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Something doesn't sell?
Yeah.
Something isn't right. Like, to convince me he's a full package fighter. You know, they're building him up. This guy was 40 years old. He's supposed to do what he's supposed to do. But he's just like an inch away from getting hit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, shout out. I mean, he's there. He earned it by the Olympics, you know. But Olympics is different than the pros, you know. So he comes out almost like an amateur pace. So when he starts going 8-10 rounds, we'll see what happens. You know, it's like Berlanga. Berlanga was knocking everybody out in the first round. He looked good in his last fight, but before that, he didn't. Look average
at his level, because I think he's like all knockouts right now.
Yeah.
And at his level, where's his competition? You know, do we have to pick him up and drop him into the ring with your Joshua, your Ruiz?
Nah,
top rank knows what they're doing.
Jared Anderson eventually would be a good fight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Fuck it. You know, let's find out who's the next contender, like the next generation. You know.
Mm-hmm. So he's in that next generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's not.
He just started. I don't even think he has 10 fights.
6 fights, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Check it out.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I'm tired of stopping.
Here, I'll do it for you. You keep talking then. Here, I'll tell you how many fights he
He's
got.
one of those Olympians. You know, I think Top Rank does well with their Olympians. You know,
they
they'll
do a
pick
good
them
job.
up. Yep. And
Shout out to Brad Goodman.
Yeah, they do a good little roadmap for them. You know.
Okay.
So it works.
I know the name Brad Goodman. Now, did you find out?
Yeah, I'm like hip to this shit. I'm like, they're gonna hire me now. He's 6 fights. Wait, no. Wrong Richard Torres.
Junior.
I'm gonna get fired now.
Junior.
Yeah.
Richard Torres Jr. He's big, dude. I think he's like half Mexican or something.
Yeah. What? He was born in California.
Yeah,
6-0. How many knockouts? All knockouts.
All knockouts.
Yep.
Yeah. And he comes out the same in all his fights, dude. So it's like, guys, eventually there's gonna be a guy who's not intimidated by that.
See, they build. I mean, I respect him. His first fight was against a guy 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
For a first fight, that's hard. Then he fought a guy 2-1. Then he fought a guy 4-2, 13-2. So he's fighting guys with winning records. Then he fought a guy 6-2. Then this last opponent was 11-3-2.
Mm-hmm. So we have yet to see if he's really.
But his last opponent was 40.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah. If he's really that good, man, or his competition just.
Right. That's what I'm wondering about. Where's his competition?
It's because the knock on him is he got knocked out on the amateurs badly.
Who, Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a knock on him. So he's a risk taker, but I mean, you have to respect that. But
But you're saying that there's some risk he's taking, but that just goes to being unskilled.
Yeah, it's just going in. It's just fucking. I don't even know. The word like keeps like leaving my brain, but it's just not. It's not methodical. There's nothing. I don't know if he's setting shit up or not. He's just fucking throwing, wailing, and boom, one of them just catches them. Motherfuckers just drop. You know. Mm-hmm. But I think there's a lot of potential there. You know.
Of course, especially if I never stopped to say how old is this guy. My brain just assumed that he was of the same caliber, just not there yet.
Yeah,
just not there yet. But I was like, okay, so he's probably going to be like, who did Tyson fight when he was real young? That was real old.
A lot of people. Michael. Oh no, old. Michael Spinks and
Spinks and
he fought Bone Crusher Smith. Was older.
And the guy who beat Ali.
He fought Tony Tucker. That was Larry Holmes.
Yeah. So it could be one of those situations, you know, like Torres Jr.
But those guys you're talking about that were old, they were world champions.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Torres Jr. could be Deontay Wilder's last fight. I don't see him being Tyson Fury's last fight. No, you know, nowhere near that. It's like that's next level.
Yeah.
24. Mike Tyson was beating those guys at 21, 22.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tyson's just Tyson Fury is just so fucking huge, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
awkward too.
And just he's the boxer's boxer. Like you're gonna see everything if you watch one of his fights. That's one of the things I love about him is like you're gonna see showmanship. You're going to see what is the other thing called skill, technical fighter, and you're just gonna get madly wonderfully entertained.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that he's fucking fighting a UFC fighter. He's supposed to fight the Ngannou.
Okay. But he's now a boxer though.
Yeah, he's not a boxer.
But Mike Tyson is training him.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't mean shit.
I think that adds to whatever chance you have. If you get Tyson in your corner, it adds to.
I agree, man. But I think that Tyson could have fought somebody in boxing.
It adds to other pockets. That's what it adds to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. Facts.
People are going to tune in to see Mike Tyson in that corner. That's a huge selling point.
Mike Tyson sells fucking smoking weed. People tune in to watch him.
Yeah.
He wins me over every time he talks, bro. Like it could be about anything.
Does he?
Hell yeah. I just saw a video of him this morning when he went to Ali's house and they're like messing around in the living room and doing the Ali shuffle and all this shit, man.
He's hilarious. He's a personality.
He's like Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah.
They're like both the same. Like you want to watch him and tune in and watch him.
Yeah.
Snoop's in everything.
Yeah, that doesn't make me a fan. Like right now, I just saw him in a Skechers. Like he's now peddling Skechers.
See,
that's blows my mind.
Snoop is in everything. Huh? You see him at the fucking Vons selling wine. Like
when I saw him at Martha Stewart, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Doing everything now.
And that's I'm not a Snoop fan. He's had. I will let people say that he's had one good album. Other than that,
first one, Doggy Style.
Yeah. I didn't like it, but I didn't turn it off. You know, like that was how it was, and I still I just can't get. But I'm still trying to get over seeing him do a Skechers commercial. He was crip walking in Skechers. Okay, like at no point is that an acceptable behavior. And it's like I'm a big person of style or fashion. Like I'm not meaning I understand it to be a defining piece of people of how
it's a
people,
form of expression.
Form of expression.
Yeah.
And so now watching Skechers try and ink into the hip hop community is really just dude, stay in your lane. Like don't do that. You know, I used to have this joke about like the ultimate scavenger hunt being a black dude wearing Skechers, and now we got Snoop Dogg
wearing Skechers.
So maybe their shit's is comfortable, man.
Are they?
I haven't tried them in a long time, but I do. I'm kind of a running shoe nerd, and they're like coming up. I haven't tried them, but they're competing.
And no, I'm not talking about function. When you talk about fashion, I think the last thing you're talking about is functionality.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Matter of fact, there was a pitcher for the Phillies. His first start, I don't know his name because that's irrelevant at this point, I guess.
Dominican?
No. He got his first start as a pitcher through a no-hitter in a pair of Vans. And like you, like Magz, I didn't even know Vans had baseball cleats.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. And that was like one of like the key stories. Like Andy's wearing Vans. Like, so it was a great. So shoes are shoes, but still, Snoop Dogg crip walking in Skechers. That's disturbing to me. You know, it's just it is. It's like, oh wow, so hip hop is for sale still.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's like, and that's my. If I were to say I have a culture, I would definitely say it's the hip hop culture.
I was about to say, like, but like hip hop is such a melting pot, you know. Like,
Nope.
I think it is predominantly black, you know, but
I don't. No. I'm not saying that. I won't say it's a melting pot.
I think it is because it's a mixture of all kinds of music, bro. You know, if you think about America, you think hip hop, like, yeah, country music too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking of hip hop as like America, like how everything.
No, it's just when you say
like
I can't imagine somebody saying, "Hey, what kind of music do you think of when you think of America?" And I can't imagine someone going country music.
It's actually the most popular genre in
Really?
the States, dude. Yes.
Outside of more than hip hop.
Yes, dude. I almost like I was like, fuck no, it's hip hop because that's all I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta think of all the fucking
No,
states.
you're right. I would have. Okay, yes, no. You get those
You know what I'm
flyover
saying?
states. You
Yeah,
get those flyover
no.
states. That Jason Aldean song is like try that in a small town. Have you heard that?
I haven't. Is that the controversial song?
Yeah,
I haven't heard it.
So this guy Jason Aldean, he writes a song. It's like try that in a small town.
Yeah.
And you know yes. So you know who he's marketing to right away.
Yeah.
And but the video has stock footage. Like stock footage is basically footage that's staged to look not staged. So instead of using, so he's like, so try that in a small town is basically an attack on anybody protesting anything.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And but in his video, he's using stock footage instead of real footage. He's using stock footage to show the BLM protests were violent.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So to me, it's just interesting. I never get mad at, I have this thing. I don't get mad at the shepherd. I never do. I get mad at the sheep for following.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, yeah, of course he's going to write that song because your dumbasses bought it.
Yeah.
Like, why did you buy that song? So that's it, you know. So, but I did not know that country was so.
Yeah, dude.
I'm waiting for hip hop to lose its. I'm waiting for hip hop to lose its status because right now.
It's just not what it was.
It's
not what it was before, man. Like even R&B music, man. Oh, we were on the way here last week. He was playing this Keith. So I was like, Keith Sweat. I was like, you don't hear this shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Keith Sweat. You think of Keith Sweat, you're like, oh shit, the good times, bro. You know, like you don't hear R&B like that anymore. I can't tell you an R&B artist right now. I can't tell you.
You got Weeknd, The Weeknd.
That's like pop, man.
I know, but now this is why I tell Coach, I was like, you know, your merengue, your tuba music.
Why do you guys call it tuba music, man?
It's a tuba in every.
Called it that shit too.
It's a tuba in every one of them. Coach was like, I don't get my playlist. I was like, pick the one with the tuba. But I really appreciate that music because like white people have not. They haven't caught on to it.
I think that they're catching on to it.
And then it's going to fast forward because hip hop just recently celebrated its 50th birthday.
Yeah. I think.
See what happens when we don't introduce the episode.
I think that it can. I think it can catch on, man. Because look at what Bad Bunny did with reggaeton. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think this kid Peso Plumas. You know, he's doing what Bad Bunny did with reggaeton. With Mexican music.
Okay.
Quote unquote Mexican music because Mexican music isn't just one genre, bro.
No, but you're going to have it. You're going to pull up Apple Music and you're going to see Mexican
Number
music.
one in Mexican
music.
Kid.
They're not going to break it down. They're not.
Yeah.
You know,
Latin.
No, Latin's out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I'm saying like I'm fast forwarding because
I see what you mean.
For the masses, everything has to be watered down. Has to be easily searchable.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking with. It's not merengue. What is the music? What is the
salsa?
No,
merengue.
It's not merengue, but there's another
Bachata.
See, you have all these.
Yeah, there's so many.
You haven't even said the one.
I said salsa.
I don't know what the fuck.
No, there's something. It's
Corridos.
I can't even think of it. But this is great for that
purpose.
I pull up next to a light and somebody's like blasting the tuba section, and I'm just like, I just appreciate. I'm like, man, that person really likes that music. I don't know how to listen to that music.
Yeah.
There are some country songs. I'm not like to win back anybody who likes country that I may have offended earlier. There are some country songs that I like.
Yeah, I fucks with country, man.
Like Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I don't know it.
That's like 30 years old, though.
Hey, dude, that's one of my karaoke jams.
You ever see that video?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it now because I feel left out.
It's just dramatic. That's really all it is.
That's a good song, though.
Yeah, but when I hear people playing Latin music, I'm just like, oh man, I wonder what it's like to just enjoy that music.
But Latin music, country comes from Latin music. I don't give a fuck what these people say.
Oh really?
Yeah, the Cowboys were,
Oh yeah,
I was talking about that. They learned that the instruments, the guitar, all that shit came from the Mexican vaqueros.
In my head,
You're welcome.
Like in my head, I just got it. I just can't.
We got some love songs too, but we don't listen to it like all the time.
Yeah.
And that's more like Vicente Fernandez. More like you left me, you fucking broke my heart. That's what country is. That's what we listen to. But we listen to that like when we're drinking or sad. But country, they listen to it every day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Another like this when I listen to gospel music. I'm like, this is another genre that's protected from the masses.
Yeah,
because
that's
they really don't know how to market.
They don't know how to market that.
Or it's different. It's like black Christianity versus whatever else is. So you have those two separate. There was this one. When I lived in Texas, I lived in a Hispanic neighborhood in an apartment building. Like really, a lot of Hispanics lived there, and the guys would hang out after work and play music and drink in the parking lot. And then my son has to go to bed at 9, and he's getting in bed, and they go outside and turn on the radio, or the music or whatever, and it's 2003, so it might have been the radio.
Yeah.
and the song, and my son just goes, I hate this song, and I loved it. I love that he just said that. I was like, we don't know what song that is. It just sounds like. But it was. But to me, it's like just protect your culture as hard as you can. Don't tell everybody what you're listening to. That's how I say it. If you want to keep it, because right now we got the stuff we got. Matter of fact, every time I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see it's like some white person dancing to like a song. The new trend now is this 036 Mafia song, and it's really like obscene. It's really it made me like I was like, how did I get this old? But I'm watching a 16-year-old white girl dance to this song. And I'm like, that's not what this song was written. With penguins. Like it's I'm imagining whatever last movie Pixar did with penguins is where this dance movie came from.
Happy Feet?
Probably. And so it's like there's 4 penguins and always like some 16-year-old white girl dancing, but it's a 3-6 Mafia song. It's like, and I just remember it's like we're in the back of the bus getting high. It's a lot of words that you're just like, whoa. Like, it's like you're dancing to this. And that wasn't the intent of the song. So I don't know how this became a music review podcast all of a sudden.
I fucking don't know, but
Who cares?
Oscar Valdez and Navarrete.
No, we were done with that.
We were?
Yeah,
We
I
were?
think so.
Nah, man, I got some shit to say.
Okay, no, let's get back to it then.
Nah, you know what? I think Oscar has so many athletic abilities, man. Like I think he is a well-rounded fighter. It's just not showing.
It couldn't. Absolutely, I saw a very good fighter who just couldn't overcome. I don't want to say adversity, uncertainty. Mm-hmm. He could not overcome the uncertainty
like that.
That was presented to him.
Yeah.
But he did what he could. Like
he did the best that he could do
for him to get
that moment.
I think he got unanimously. He got 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah.
For him to get those 4 or 5 rounds.
Those are called mercy rounds, though, because I always feel like when a fighter is losing every round and he has
he has a good one.
Yeah,
a good round, you give it to him.
Yeah.
I don't think I know I understand what you're saying. I don't think that this was the case. I
thought he lost almost every round.
Yeah.
I know he lost the first 3 or 4. And then
because you're gonna say one haymaker won him the round, like one shot. He didn't even move. He didn't even move Vaquero.
The only 2 knockdowns were
For
slips.
real. You know what? I think when you're faced against somebody like that, you can't worry too much about what he's gonna do. Just trust your defense and trust your offense.
He didn't even trust his defense.
He didn't even trust his defense, and that's number one. I think instead of thinking, oh, like he's gonna throw this, no, just whatever he throws, just move a little bit out the way or block it. Whatever you gotta do, trust your defense, and then just worry about working your offense. But I think a lot of people like they get mesmerized.
One of my boys called me. He's like, "Hey, bro, how would you prepare to fight him?"
Him being
Navarrete. Like, this is a coach of mine, a friend of mine. He has pro fighters too, and I'm like, I would get the ugliest sparring partners and put them to spar him. You can't put fundamentally sound guys in front of the guy to prepare.
Fact.
You know, I would get the ugliest guys that throw haymakers, uppercuts, and I wouldn't have my guy trying to knock him out. I would have him work off the blocks.
You know what I was thinking during the oh man, we didn't even play our music. What I was thinking during the match.
Do it again.
Before this fool forgets what he's gonna say.
I know, right? What I was thinking during the match was Valdez is fighting that dude who picks up the controller and starts pressing every button.
Yeah, that's exactly who he's fighting.
That's who he's fighting.
And that's when you get some ugly ass sparring partners.
Yeah.
Guys like him, guys like Venado. I was just reminded of, very distinct awkwardness. It's different. They're not the same kind of awkward because I think Vaquero uses his reach. He uses it really well. Yeah. He knows how to use his range, man.
He's got the arms and he's got the
arms. He knows how to use that advantage really well, in my opinion. And Vaquero's another guy too. He's a little shorter, like in all around, but he's explosive, dude, and he's fucking strong. Guys like Ricky's fucking. He's all over the place too, man. And it works for them. It works for them. And it's really hard to train for somebody like that, but you can't think about train. It's weird. It's almost like you can't worry about training for him because you really don't know what to expect until you get in there. You think it's one way, but
I was training Dwayne Beeman. We were getting ready for Gallito Estrada, and we were sparring in Tijuana one time, and we sparred against Navarrete. And Navarrete was 122, 126 at the time. I don't remember, but he was bigger than Dwayne. And you remember Dwayne Beeman? You met Beeman, didn't you?
I'm not good with names.
Well, he was 115. He was, anyways, walked around like 122. And I remember we sparred Navarrete. I remember looking at Navarrete, and I'm guilty of this right now because I looked at him and I go, oh, that's easy work. I knew who he was, but I didn't think he was that good at the time. And Beeman comes back to the corner and I go, what's up, man? He goes, fuck, bro. He is strong, dog. I don't think he weighs. I think he fights at 140. No, bro, he didn't even know who he was at the time either. No, he's small. I say he's 122, 126. No, I sparred 135-pounders. He hits harder than them.
Man.
And I was like, for real? But he doesn't even look like he's loading it up or nothing. No, he's just working. That's how he fought. He didn't load up one punch. When did you see him pull back on something and cock it?
No, he didn't. He just it was working. All shots.
And it's funny because that's what we teach our guys. We teach them not to load up and just let the shots come. Let your shots work. Trust your hands. And I said the guy who was loading up every shot missed every shot, which Oscar. Every time he loaded up, Navarrete could see it. Yeah, he caught him a couple of times, but
not enough to do anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Navarrete didn't even look like he was in a fight. When the fight was over, his face was clean. Not even a damn abrasion or nothing.
It was like when he gave his hat to Valdez and gave him a hug. I was like, this is a Make-A-Wish scene.
You ever seen the movie The Mask with Cher? That's what he looked like, dog. I felt bad for that kid, man. Like, damn. I hope he don't see this podcast. He's gonna be pissed off.
I know. I mean, he got the right side of his face shut off. That's all that happens.
You can't see the punches coming from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a dominant eye. Like one of them's more dominant. If that's the one that got fucked up, man.
And that's he survived. Matter of fact, half the fight he had to fight. Like, well, I would say the last 4 rounds.
God, Navarrete only had one hand.
Yeah, for real. True. And I think that's why that side of the face got more fucked up is because he was using the left more, you know?
And I sparred with guys. One time I sparred with somebody and I saw that I did some damage to an eye. And I was like, I'm gonna keep going after that eye until they stop because I didn't want to be. I was like in my head, I'm like, the more damage I do, the quicker we. They was like, all right, we're done.
Hey, one time I was working a fight. I was working a corner for Tiger Smalls, his son Prince, and Tiger, great coach. I'm not great coach. He was coaching his son, and his son came back to the corner and he says, he had one of those hard ass fights, and he says, Dad, I think I broke my hand. I can't. And Tiger kind of lost it in the corner, and he's like, what the fuck? And I just took over.
I just pictured it.
I just took over, and I said, hey, he doesn't know your hand's hurt. Throw it and miss on purpose. Don't land it.
Okay.
And he just started using it as a decoy, just missing on purpose. And he pulled out the fight and won.
Nice.
You know, but if I would have told him, oh, shit, what can we do?
Yeah.
And there was already a stressful situation in the corner. And I never forget that day. That was like afterwards, like, damn, Joe, thank you, man. Like, you took over that shit because I didn't know what to tell him, you know, because it was emotional for him. That's his son, and he's coaching him. But I was like, dude, he doesn't know it's hurt. Just miss on purpose. If you don't use it, he's gonna know it's hurt.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the things. But Vaquero used it a couple of times, even though it was broken.
Yeah. For sure.
He only stopped using it one round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I think that would be. I would say that was the mercy round.
Yeah.
That Valdez
So
got.
it was 11-1.
You gotta have that, dude. Boxing is more than just boxing. You gotta be a fucking poker
Thinker.
face. You gotta be a salesman. There's so much that you thinker, man. So much.
And I think that's to make it to issue a between the Bellz moment. It's like you get that setback, like, and you can't stop. And trust me, I'm somebody who's like just like, oh, another setback, yay. Like
Talking about setbacks, do you or Maggie think that Oscar Valdez will be back to where he has to be at, or you think that's it?
No, he'll be back.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't think this is a setback. I think it was a loss.
I think it depends on how he looks at the situation. He can either look at it as a setback or an unfortunate circumstance or whatever, or he can look at it as an opportunity.
Well, I don't know him as a fighter, so is this adding to a list of things that he's happened? Because he withstood what Crawford gave, what Crawford gave Spence, of beating, facial reconstruction stuff, blah, blah, blah. So Spence is going to come back from that, and I think that Valdez can come back from that.
Yeah, I think a little different, but I know I see where you're coming from.
I'm speaking because of Valdez's frustration with Shakur, and now he lost. With Shakur, he took a loss.
Yeah.
This one, he took a beating.
Yeah.
He lost this one too, but those are the two of the top guys that he's lost to. Who is he going to pick to fight to get to the top again?
Okay.
I shouldn't say will he come back. Will he come back to be where he's supposed to be on the top again?
Is he going to? Right.
I should have rephrased the question. I didn't ask it right. But
yeah, and I see what you mean though, and I think that this is a good opportunity for him to. A lot of it can be mental too, Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear like where his mental space is at, because there's so much he had. In my opinion, man, he has a lot. He has a lot going for him.
How hard
for him, but it's just not being used to his full capability.
How hard is it for a fighter to take the lesson and forget the loss?
It all depends on on how you look at things, your mindset. It comes down to your mindset, dude, because you can always look at things.
The mindset and the team.
And the team too. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The team is there. The team is there to tend to your wounds.
Right.
Pat you up. Let's go. The wounds nobody can see.
Right.
That's our job. And is he going to get that? He's a great team. Hopefully he does. I want to see him back on top. I personally don't think he'll be back at that level. At that level. He'll be back. He'll fight. He'll make some exciting fights again. But at one time, he was in the best champions in the world.
What does he do? Now become a gatekeeper, maybe?
Yeah, most likely they're going to call him to be. Not yet. They're going to give him another chance because he's with that great team and everything. But look at all the guys at that weight division who he can beat, and will they give him a chance?
Oh, okay.
Who's at 130?
Who is at 130, man? I don't even know. Wait, who's Bronco Lara is at 130? No, that's 126, huh?
126.
Yeah.
Maybe Bronco goes up to 130. That's a tough fight.
That's a tough fight too.
That is crazy. All right. Well,
future fights. Well, we don't have fights till the 26th of August. Is that next month or next week?
It's 2 weeks.
It's in 2 weeks.
We can touch that on the next episode.
Next episode, yeah. We got Jose's fight on the 25th too, so I guess we could talk about that next week.
I'm excited about that. It's possible I might be going to that. Maybe not. Okay. We'll see. I want to see
Hector Garcia.
I want to go back to.
Oh yeah, 1:30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, Valdez could.
And then when he fought Concepcion,
sound it out.
Robson Concencia. I don't speak Portuguese.
Concencia.
He actually, that fight was like arguable. I think he lost.
Yeah,
you know? So
he was going through a lot mentally in that fight too.
Yeah. So it's been a battle of mental war for him right now. So hopefully he gets out of that shit. I'd love to see him, but I don't know, bro. There's not that much exciting people at 1:30.
At 1:30 is weird.
Joe
it's all
Cordina,
over the place.
Shaquille Foster, Ray Vargas was boring as fuck. Leo Santa Cruz. Well, I don't even know he still fights. Yeah, but he's still here in the rankings.
Santa Cruz
and this kid is really good. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry, this guy right here. I'm sorry. Yeah, both of these guys.
Are they like Kazakh?
Yeah.
Both of them, yeah.
Okay. So we got more fights coming up, and I guess the only thing you could do with Valdez right now is watch. And just,
I wish he all the success.
Is he going to? He's going to face a suspension.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
even the winners get a suspension.
Yeah, everybody gets a suspension after a fight, but his might be a little bit longer.
There's UFC fights this weekend, but nobody wants to.
I don't know those.
Nobody watch that shit.
I mean, it's so brutal.
What? My mom
UFC
says
fights,
that too.
It's barbaric, dog.
Huh?
It's barbaric.
That's what I'm saying. Brutal, barbaric. It's just like if you're punching a guy who's covering his face and then laying on the ground, it's like let him get up.
You know what I hate about MMA?
What?
When
say UFC.
MMA, UFC, whatever. Yeah. The motherfuckers just beating the shit out of each other.
That's the ground and pound.
And I was standing up or on the ground, right? And the guy just grabs them and submits them. I'm like, bro, you won, dog. But that's like a bitch way of winning, dog.
Just wait till the ref kicks
the knockout. The knockout is,
sexy.
Yes, exactly.
They're cold, man. I like to watch it.
A kick to the head. Oh my! If the guy is standing up, because if you fall down, you'll still get kicked.
What fight was we were watching that guy got kicked in the head?
Yeah, Dustin Poirier. The same night as Crawford. Yeah.
So we're gonna.
But that fight was exciting.
That was a good fight because this fight, I don't know, it might not be, but that one was exciting because they're stand-up guys. They're not going to go down to the ground.
And one thing that we're working on is setting up the studio so that we can have guests. And Chris Lieben is a friend of mine. I ran into him the other day, and he says, I want to come on the podcast.
Fuck, I might wear headgear that day.
So we'll because now that we've pretty much just, the three of us unanimously just dogged UFC.
No, I didn't dog it. I said what I don't like. Let me rephrase that now that Chris is coming.
Play back the tape.
Chris, I'm just joking, dog.
We're going to have somebody come on and support it.
Look at this picture I'm posting on Thursday. I was going to post. Sometimes you got to get in there and spar your fighters, you know?
Yep.
And I got in there. That was one of the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. Chris Lieben. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got him backpedaling, dog.
He's on his back.
And we got kickboxers that watch this. Oh, before we go, I do want to shout out.
I like MMA. Go ahead, shout out.
I want to shout out to Mr. Jackson one more time because I saw this. He left a comment.
Motherfucker threw up twice today. Give him a shout out.
Give him a shout out. He threw up twice and still fucking went back.
You know why he threw up?
Why?
I asked him, did you drink an energy drink? He's like, no, I just had a Gatorade. I said, but I told you you're going to train with us. He goes, I know. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Oh, you trained at 11 o'clock?
Yeah. Yeah, we're waiting for you too.
I'll be there.
He must have drank something. Yeah. He's bouncing all over the place.
He was right, though. He did drink something, but it was Gatorade.
But no, he left a comment, and
little Nick made him throw up, dog.
Let's see. No, little Nick?
Yeah, little Nick got him, dog. Just hit him to the body. I'm exaggerating.
Did he delete it?
Y'all should see little Nick, too. That's what's funny. It makes it even funnier.
I can't find his comment.
Little Nicky.
No, not Nicky, but Jackson's comment.
No, now he's going to be little Nicky.
But he left a comment. I don't know. I got to find it. But he was talking about, when we were talking about names, he's like, Coach called me Dick I was Dick or Beloved for the first 2 months. He said it took Coach 3 months to get my name. And I told him, because I saw the comment, I saw him in the gym. I was like, dude, you don't know how many times I get texts from people who say, man, Coach said my name. We get real excited about that. And so, Coach is a special person. It's like he's one of those people you want to know your name.
I know everybody's name. I just don't like to call them by their name, dog.
I get it. All right, so we don't have any fights coming up. We're good. We had a great episode. I love it. I'm very happy with this podcast. You guys should be too.
Tell them to like and share
And subscribe.
and subscribe.
No.
Tell them.
I was gonna, but
I
then
interrupted you.
you told me to.
My bad, dog.
And now I don't want to anymore.
But then I parried it. That's it.
No.
Just because I parried it, now you go for it.
No, I'm not. I was like, okay, he's gonna parry my
Fuck
jab.
'em. Guys, like,
Comment.
subscribe, comment, and share this shit, please.
I was gonna say it much different than that. I was gonna say you should like, share, subscribe,
Comment.
like again from your burner account, and then share. See, everybody's got burner accounts. I think I found out about that.
For real? I don't got that.
You don't. I don't.
Just
either.
even the thought of doing that makes me feel fucking weird, dog.
I found out what they were. I was like,
That's like catfishing, dog.
people don't want to post comments on that when they go to post mean comments. They don't want to use their thing.
Oh hell no.
I've thought about doing that because sometimes I want to comment on people that I really care about, but I'm like, they're gonna know it's me, and like,
It's easier to say some hard shit.
I'll do one Adam and you do Joe.
They gonna know it's you,
I got a
dog.
family. I got
When it says, "Hey, Dick," they're gonna know it's me. Huh?
whenever it's always something. So, but anyway, you guys, thank you very much for supporting the podcast. Again, shout out to Women's Boxing Network for just, pouring into us and supporting us. So, guys, we love you very much. Have fun. Stay up. Do good.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.